Most men get this completely wrong. The moment she goes silent, the moment she stops texting, the moment she starts doing no contact, most guys panic. They send another message, then another. They check her stories. They ask mutual friends about her. And without realizing it, they destroy the very thing they're trying to save. Here's what you don't understand. No contact isn't always about forgetting you. Sometimes it's about testing reality without you. And what happens during that time determines whether attraction grows or dies. This is where most men fail. They think attraction is built by doing more. More texting, more explaining, more convincing, more chasing. But attraction doesn't work that way. In fact, when a woman pulls away, the worst thing you can do is try to force your way back into her life. Because the harder you chase, the less valuable you appear. And that's exactly why many men lose women they could have gotten back. The first thing you need to understand is that attraction needs space to breathe. Most men are terrified of silence. A confident man uses it. Think about it. When she's hearing from you every day, your presence becomes predictable, expected, normal. But when you disappear emotionally and mentally, something interesting happens. She finally gets the opportunity to feel your absence. And absence is powerful. Not because it magically makes someone fall in love, but because people often don't fully appreciate something until they experience life without it. This is where most men panic and sabotage themselves. They can't tolerate uncertainty, so they reach out. They seek reassurance. They need answers. And every needy action sends one message: I need you more than you need me. That's not attractive. The second thing most men don't realize is that no contact reveals your emotional strength. Women pay attention to how you handle pressure. Anybody can act confident when everything is going well. But what happens when she pulls away? What happens when she stops responding? What happens when you don't know where you stand? That's where your true value gets exposed. Weak men become reactive. Strong men become focused. Instead of obsessing over her behavior, they improve their own. And that shift changes everything. Because confidence isn't telling the world you're valuable. Confidence is acting like you know it, without needing anyone else's approval. Here's the secret. The goal of no contact isn't to make her miss you. The goal is to stop making your happiness dependent on her. And ironically, that's what often makes you more attractive. Now let's talk about something even deeper. Scarcity. Most men misunderstand this completely. Scarcity isn't pretending to be busy. It's not posting fake pictures with other women. It's not playing games. Real scarcity happens when your life becomes genuinely meaningful without her. When your attention is no longer available on demand. When your focus shifts toward purpose, growth, fitness, business, goals, and experiences. Because here's what women notice. They notice when a man has no life outside of them. And they notice when a man refuses to make them the center of his universe. Guess which one creates attraction? Exactly. A woman wants to feel important, but she rarely wants to feel responsible for your entire emotional world. And that's exactly why desperate behavior pushes her away. But we're not done, because there's another psychological trigger most men completely miss. Mystery. When you're constantly explaining yourself, constantly defending yourself, constantly trying to clarify every misunderstanding, you remove all mystery. Everything becomes predictable. Nothing is left for her imagination. And attraction often grows in uncertainty. Not toxic uncertainty, not manipulation, but natural curiosity. The curiosity of wondering what you're doing, how you're growing, whether you've changed, whether you're becoming someone different. Every time you send another emotional paragraph, you destroy that curiosity. Every time you beg for closure, you answer questions she wasn't even asking. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The man who constantly seeks validation is rarely desired. The man who validates himself becomes difficult to ignore. And that leads to the biggest mistake men make during no contact. They sit around waiting for a text, waiting for a call, waiting for a sign, waiting for permission to move forward. Don't do that, because the strongest position you can have is genuine detachment. Now pay attention. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means your emotional stability doesn't depend on the outcome. You would like her back, but you don't need her back. There's a massive difference. Women can feel that difference. One energy feels heavy, the other feels powerful. One says, please choose me. The other says, I'm moving forward either way. And that's exactly why detached men often become more attractive. They stop trying to control outcomes. They stop forcing connections. They stop chasing, and the pressure disappears. Sometimes she comes back, sometimes she doesn't. But either way, the man wins, because he's no longer trapped by obsession. He's focused on becoming better. Here's the final truth most men never hear. Winning her back should never be your primary goal. Becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to chase anyone should be. Because if she comes back, you'll be stronger. If she doesn't come back, you'll still be stronger. That's the real victory. The men who always lose women are usually focused on getting a woman. The men who keep attracting women are focused on becoming valuable. Remember that. No contact is not a waiting game. It's a transformation period. Use it correctly, and you'll become more confident, more attractive, and more emotionally powerful than before. And if she comes back, great.